How's it going, guys? I'm back to another video. In today's video I'm bringing you episode 1 of my brand new Crystal Palace career mode. It's my first one on FIFA 17 and I thought I'd sort of bring it to you guys. You guys wanted a career mode I didn't do on last year, so I thought I'd do one this year. But yeah, I chose Crystal Palace because they don't really want anything big on expectations. We're not going to go down and we're probably not going to get into Europe, although I'm going to try. But we have a decent budget with the 30% increase. We went up to about, I think 50 million was around our budget, so yeah, I was looking forward to that. We went straight over to the office and we entered a pre-season tournament. I actually had a really hard group, Lazio, Wolfsburg and Udinese, so that was a pretty difficult group. Then we had the new sort of expectations thing that's been introduced this year. I think we had low on most stuff. Financial was sort of medium. They want us to bring in some youth and stuff like that. So I was just going through the scout report, seeing if there was anyone we wanted to buy. I didn't really see anyone at first that caught my eye. I wanted to have a look at the squad and see what positions I actually wanted to improve. But this Crystal Palace team is actually quite an old one, so unfortunately for any Crystal Palace fans watching, we might have to get rid of a few legends. I think Scott Dan gets transfer listed in the end, but here we can see our budget. The good thing is they've introduced this whole thing where like you can see all this, you can see your transfers and your transfer history, but we had about 41 million plus whatever we get from the pre-season tournament and whatever we get from selling players. But here's a few examples. We got like Jason Punchin, I know we got Remy on loan, MacArthur, Kabai, all players that are worth a few million that are quite old, but I want to sort of get them out and get some new, better, younger players in. And holding midfield, I really wanted 2 new players in that position and 2 new centre backs as well I was looking for, and possibly a new cam or striker position. You'll see someone very interesting we put in an offer for later on in this episode. But yeah, Steve Mandanda, I didn't really want to improve his position just because he's so high rated and he could be the difference for us getting into the top 6 or mid-table. So I kept him in there. Maybe in a couple of seasons we will want to change that around. But yeah, I was just going through. I didn't realise Remy was only on loan, but all the older players I was sort of transfer listing. Scott down there I listed up. Johan Kabai, that could be another sort of 10 million quid. That could be good in the bag. We could get a nice player with that. Benteke actually looks like quite a good player. He might grow up to sort of 85, 86. Hennessy I kept as a backup keeper in the end. I transfer listed him, but I don't know, I didn't really want to bring in a new goalkeeper because there aren't that many amazing ones, because they've upgraded their stats so much, so they're really high rated, so they're more expensive. And we were also sending out a load of youngsters on loan, trying to get loan deals for them. I didn't see anyone. I think that was Benteke's brother, I think, I don't know, but he looks quite decent actually. But all these younger players who I'm listing out for loan, I don't think any of them caught my eye as sort of they could be good in the future, so I sent them out on loan, see if any of them grow much, but I don't think they will. But yeah, we were setting up some sort of instructions to the positions we wanted. We wanted attacking mid, centre back and holding midfield, and then we go straight into the pre-season tournament. But we managed to win the first game against Wolfsburg, which was a big surprise, and then we drew to Udinese in the second game. Papa Suarez got injured, but that was only for 9 days. Then we again beat Lazio, which was quite a surprise, so we got through there. We got our first transfer offer this time for Fraser Campbell. He's 71 rated and 28, so he's not going to be very good for us. He's not going to get into the first team at all, so I let him go to Aston Villa for 1.8 million. I think I counter offered. And scouting is really important. We got a really nice one there, 5-star judgment and 5-star experience. But I think scouting is going to be really important. It's one of my objectives. So yeah, we hire a few youth scouts. And then we actually won the semi-final of the tournament 4-3 on penalties. So we're into the final. We get 3 million for that. So that was pretty good. I was inquiring for a load of players that had been on my scouting. Jonathan Tarr was a player I was very interested in, but he looked very expensive. But I thought I'd put in a few offers. Scott Dan plus, I think I did about 10 million in the end, something like that. 6.5 million plus Scott Dan. I knew that wasn't going to be enough, but it was sort of like a valuation offer to see what they wanted for him. Jonathan Kimmich, or Joshua Kimmich, is a player who I've used on Ultimate Team and I really like, but because he's so young, and actually I think he's 78 rated, so he's really promising. So he was going to be expensive. And James Ward-Prowse actually looked quite affordable, so I put an offer of combined 1 million in for him, with only 45 grand wage budget as well, and he's very young. Aston Villa came back and said they wanted 100 grand less. I don't know why they did that, but yeah, I said that was fine. Then Wolfsburg, we actually played them in the final. We beat them in our group, but we lost 3-1 in the final, unfortunately. But we still got a decent bit of money for that pre-season tournament. But Dahoud, he got a team of the season last year. Last year he had a bronze, got upgraded to a silver, and then got a gold team of the season. So he's pretty interesting. But he's gold this year. So I put a bid in for him, 9.5 million plus Jason Punchin. That probably wasn't going to be enough, but we started getting loan offers in. This guy, 58 rated, 18. Again, I don't think he's going to grow very high, so I don't think he's going to be someone who's ever going to break into the first team. Fraser Campbell sold, and we had our bid accepted for James Ward-Prowse. So Kabay will be going out. I think he is on more than 50 grand a week, so he'll save some money on wage budget. Plus, we're only paying 1 million to get in a player who's probably a little bit better, maybe, and he's about 9 years younger. And then Everton came in for Scott Dann. We counter offered that. And finally, James Ward-Prowse signed. He's our first signing of the series. He looks pretty promising, and I found this guy Lucas Hernandez on our scouting thing. He looks very solid. They finally accepted an offer buying for, I think was that 15.5 million for Kimmich, but I didn't really want to pay that. And I was looking for, again, another centre back. Michael Keane really caught my eye. Look at his stats in the top right corner. They look really good. And Everton said they'd give me 7.5 million for Scott Dann, so I accepted that. And Delaney, I know he's 35, but he's still like 74 rated, so there's no point in selling him for about 200k, just in case we get like loads of injuries and we need him. Again, Joel Ward, I don't want to sell him, he's one of my starting players. And we put a bid of 4.5 million in the end. Oh no, I think we put a bid of 1 or 2 million and Joe Ledley. And they actually come back and accept that very soon, so yeah, Michael Keane looks like a very promising player for Burnley. So yeah, they accepted that offer. We put in a wage offer of 35 grand a week, 4 years. Crucial first team player. He looks like he could be our new captain in the future. Just 23 years old and he's 75 rated. So he becomes our second signing of the episode. That looks like a good one. And I scouted Lucas Hernandez, 75 rated, just 20 years old. 8 million was his valuation. We put in an offer of 5.5. They accepted it, so we got onto the wage contract. But yeah, Lucas Hernandez, he looks like another bargain. I know he's got high potential, only 30 grand as well out of our wage budget. I think he's a sporadic first team player, or a sporadic sort of player in their starting 11 at Atletico Madrid, and I think that's why he's so cheap. But we go straight into the Premier League season. The first game of the season is against West Brom. I start Townsend in behind Benteke with Connor Wickham out on the left. That's one of his listed positions. And yeah, he's quite pacey and he's young. I wanted to get him as much game time as I could. But straight away, Peter Odemwingie it was. Oh no, I don't think it was. He doesn't even play for them anymore. Someone scored. I don't know who it was. He looks like Odemwingie. But he scored. We were 1-0 down to West Brom. We were playing on Legendary. I play all my games on Legendary in this career mode. So yeah, that was difficult. But straight away we go in and we hit the post, instant reply, and then the rebound is put just over the bar. That was a really nice move. I was so annoyed that we didn't get that. Townsend cut inside then and finessed it, long shot. They're quite overpowered this year. And then Mandanda pulls off a good save. That's why we're keeping him in the starting 11. But right on the brink of half time, Benteke takes it down on his chest. He's forced to go out wide. He doesn't actually have any support. But he turns back on the edge of the box. He finds, I think, is it James McArthur? Yeah, finds James McArthur. He slots it into Ward-Prowse on his left foot. On his debut, he finesses it into the bottom corner and we're level. And I dabbed for some reason. But we're level. On his debut, James Ward-Prowse has scored. So that was brilliant. As you can see, the stats probably even. We've had a tad more possession. They've had a couple more shots on target, but we've hit the post. It's been very even. But Benteke slots it through to Ward-Prowse again. And look at that. He hit the bar. What a shot that was. Then he slots it through to Zaha, who's really running the play. Zaha cuts inside, looks to cross it. Benteke was free if he hadn't made that block. It comes out to Ward-Prowse. I lay it off, trying to do a bit of tiki-taka. I don't know where to go. Zaha hits it with a finesse, but it's blocked. We're coming again, and that is actually the full-time whistle. It finished 1-0. It wasn't the most interesting of games. I think 1-1 was a fair result. It was Brendan Galloway who scored their first goal. He's actually like a centre-back or a left-back, I think. If any team deserved to win, I think it was off. But James McArthur then, Angus SCO in Ligue 1 came in with an offer of 4.2. I counter-offered it for, I think, 4.4 or whatever it was, his value. And then Lucas Hernandez accepted our wage or contract offer. So he becomes, I think, our third signing. He looks very solid. Him and Michael Keane at the back would be brilliant. And here we go. This is it. The massive signing that you guys have probably seen in the title, Julian Draxler. I said I was trying to bring in a cam. We put in an offer of 35 million. I've got him on Ultimate Team. He's very, very good. 84 rated at just the age of 22, and he's a really, really solid cam. I put in an offer of 25 million. See what they say. They come back, say no. They literally rejected me flat out. It wasn't even unacceptable. They just said no. So I come in with 39 million. That is my sort of final offer. But yeah, you guys will have to wait to next episode to see what we do. That's our starting 11 at the end of this episode. Thank you guys for watching. That's my this video, guys. I hope you have enjoyed episode 1 of my Crystal Palace career mode. Can we hit 10 likes? And I'll bring episode 2 very, very soon. I'm really enjoying this career mode. Can we finally sign that £50 million-ish Draxler deal? But yeah, that's my video, guys. Hopefully you have enjoyed. I'll see you in the next one, and bye.